welcome to the channel. Today we are going to do a little overview of a mod for the game Hearts of Iron 4, which is called Black Ice. Basically, it's the only Hearts of Iron I play. It's a very complicated mod and makes the game quite a lot more challenging, even against the AI. So, because I'm a very slow player, I really don't feel it's worthwhile streaming actual gameplay. I might do it one day or another, but instead I thought, and instead of starting this video series about setting up the game in 1936, which is quite boring, I thought we jump into a game of Germany at the end of 1941, after the Operation Barbarossa. It's coming to its end, the summer and fall offensive of Germany. So I'll basically just go through how the situation looks like in this particular campaign. It's going okay, but as always in Black Ice you have very hard challenges to overcome. So anyway, let's start. I think I'm gonna start here over on the left and just work my way from left to right. So with political power, in vanilla, I don't know if you are always needing more political power. I feel in Black Ice that I never have enough political power. The last thing I'm doing is giving out medals to my units, and I have a lot of units with medals that I have not rewarded them because I haven't been able to afford. But as you can see, I have all my ministers, I have all my laws in place. And we'll skip over to manpower. I am at the healthy almost 700,000 manpower and a little bit more to gain here. That is because I have capitulated and moved up to the 18 to 35 bracket here. It does give you some worse troops. You lose more experience and recovery rates, weekly stability, experience solely losses, so your army performs worse long term. But I've tried to overcome manpower problems, and I don't know how it is in vanilla because I don't play it, but I ran out of manpower right after starting Barbarossa, and I've tried to play it with every other measure of gaining manpower, but I just can't overcome the problem, so I just capitulated this time and just went for it. So that's the reason you see why I have so much manpower. I also did a 3-year draft. I don't think I would have had to do it. I lost like 3% factory and dockyard output by going up there. I probably would not have done it, but I did it by mistake. So I have a little bit, I don't know how much you gain from this, like 200,000 or something. I would not have had to do it, and I really would have liked 3% factory output factor. We'll come to that later. Other laws I haven't really changed. Here's a tip for you. I have increased my civilian fuel to the max, and also lack of food or food diet. Increase that to the max. I discovered this campaign. I didn't know you could change these, but this gives some good benefits. And while we're at it with fuel, then you can see I am in the green now, but I have been below the minimum safe. So I had a production malus here for a while. Now I managed to turn the tide here. I guess I'm trading oil. Oil is the only interesting resource, really. I guess I'm trading everything I can, and I should not be trading overseas because I am losing convoys, but I have like 500 convoys. So before the US enters the war, and the UK is quite busy with sinking Italian ships in the Mediterranean, I guess I can do the trading, but it's not optimal in any ways. I am actually on a surplus here with rubber, I see. So I could probably lose a couple of... I mean, in this mod, I have over 1,000 factories, which I think is quite good for 1941. So I have over 600 civilian factories, so one or more trade here and there doesn't really break the game or anything. But when it comes to resources, I am good with everything. It's only in the red because I haven't progressed one day. So, except for oil. and I built a couple of refineries. Yeah, they're all built, and I am about to conquer the Caucasus with the oil there. So I think oil is not a problem anymore. How many refineries did I build this campaign? I mean, it could be, if you're planning on build this, I built 7 rubber refineries, and I have 16. I think you started with 2 oil refineries. I have 16 now. So 16.8, something like that, could be a good measure to aim for. Another advice is, don't worry about steel and aluminum. When you have conquered Europe, you will have enough resources with everything. So rubber and oil is all you have to worry about in Black Ice, Germany. What else? I'm at almost 100% stability. That's great. And as you can see over here, I have included a weekly stability meter, and it's not going up or down. It's stable. And that is good, because one of my advisors here, not sure if he's in the vanilla game, but he is in Black Ice. George Thomas is a ruthless pragmatist, and he gives 5% factory output, very important in Black Ice, but he gives a loss of weekly stability. With time now, when I gain more political power, I could probably grab a law or a policy that lowers my my stability a little bit. The way I do it is I try to avoid these expensive propaganda efforts that cost 100, 125, etc. And I use the national celebrations, which only cost 15 and gives you plus 0.10 stability. It also gives you a little bit of a compliance growth. And I have food enough. I am actually increasing my food by trading with my subjects in Europe. I think those civilian factors are worth it for the ability to increase your food. I don't know how important food is going to be in the long run. Probably not very. You survive with food. I never built any farms or anything. War support is good. It's okay. I play with historical units, and a lot of new historical units you pay political power, PP, for, but they gain 1 or 2% war support. So I guess it's you gain the historical units and you pay a lot of political power unneeded, because people say their what do you call it, their division templates are bad, and I guess they are pretty bad, the historical units, but it gives historical flavor. I like them. The units are also a little bit more experienced, so after only 6 months in Russia, I would not have experienced tank formations of this experience level. So I guess even though their templates are bad, I don't know how many times you refit your tank units. I only managed to play Black Ice up until into 1942, the longest. Hopefully there will be a 1942-43 change of these historical tank units, and the templates will improve. Otherwise, I can manually put them and make them good units later on, and hopefully they'll have a good bit of experience. Better experience than if you built your own. I have built a couple of tank divisions on my own as well, because I've been producing a lot of tanks. Anyways, not good tanks, but tanks. Okay, so that's a war support. Manpower we discussed, food we discussed, factories, yes. I have 382 military factories. Do we want to go through that? Well, might as well, I guess. That's not enough to wage war in Russia. I am running low on a lot of stocks. That is right now my main issue. As you can see here, I don't have enough equipment to fulfill my garrisons. I am using tankettes and infantry tanks. I'm also using light tanks. Just because you might as well waste infantry tanks from France and tankettes from all over the place, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Italy, because I don't use them for anything else. But the reason I am using them is because I'm stretched. I had a lot of surplus of garrison units or equipment when I invaded Russia, but covering this much ground this fast put me in a deficit, sorry. I have too few. We're gonna remove everything. and we're gonna check out. As you can see now, I am only 10 factories on warfare equipment, and we're already in November, end of October. So that's really bad, but I am putting 45 factories on garrison equipment. It hasn't really built up, and I'm still on the level 1. I'm not producing the level 2, which would have been cheaper, so I should have focused on that. So here's another advice for me. If you plan on invade Russia, really focus on garrison equipment more than I did. I have had factories all along, but this is one of my main problems right now. But I think I am overproducing, and the deficit is going down from now on. So you want to keep talking about production? Yeah, let's do that. I want to show you my army real quick here. It's on 2.8, which I think is very normal. There's nothing spectacular. It's only on 93%. I think in vanilla you will see this number almost always at 100%. But in Black Ice, there's no way I can cover. I did save up a lot of old Czech, Polish, Austrian equipment. I did not do a lot of Lend-Lease to Italy, etc. This game. So I did have a lot of equipment, and I did have manpower, so I could wage a full offensive along the entire front. But I've been bleeding so much. I've lost almost 500,000, which 327,000. I think that's normal. If you want to push and gain the territory, I have done encirclements. I have inflicted over 3 million casualties as best as I can. But around Moscow, where, okay, jumping from production to warfare, I did capture Leningrad. I did grab Rzhev, and I butchered my way into Kalinin with these very strong city fighting corps or divisions that I trained in Spain. So they're some of my most experienced units. So that's the reason I can capture city terrain in Black Ice. And I am now right at the gate of Moscow. But it has been a slugfest. All half of September and all of October, I'm just been bashing my way against a wall of Russian units here. The terrain is not clear, as you can see. There is a bit of clear terrain up here, but I don't have the supply to supply my tank units up here, so I don't see any other way. I mean, maybe if you can punch a hole earlier in the campaign and go for Moscow early, maybe you can get there without this slugfest that I've been doing. It's been very expensive. Okay, what else? I have some green values in my inventory list, but I'm low on infantry equipment, machine guns, mortars, uniforms, garrisons, infantry equipment, infantry guns, and I'm using mountain artillery. So I have almost 5 months of production that I'm behind only. Heavy transport trucks. I have a lot of heavy transport trucks, but I guess they're in the field supplying my army right now, most of them. So here's another problem. I am behind on my infantry equipment for my infantry units. That's why you see 93% equipment in my entire army. It's mostly around Moscow right now. And the reason why I don't have enough factories, 382, is because I've been building railroads in Russia instead of military factories. I just now, end of 41, starting to build. Well, I built a couple of them in before the war, of course, but you know, you have to build oil refineries, rubber refineries, and infrastructure. And see, what I tend to do is build recruitment centers and police stations, so that you gain more manpower. But now when I have manpower, I don't need to build these buildings. So instead of being focused on railroads in 1941, I have decent supply at the front. Supply is much more of an issue in this mod than it is in vanilla, I think. So my plan now, from now on, is the Russian winter offensive is horrendous. It already started. You can see there's already a couple of attacks, but we're already in November and they haven't been attacking along the entire front yet. So I guess I'm doing okay. The deficits I have production equipment wise, I think they can be arranged. I'm gonna bleed more stuff during the winter, but hopefully during spring and some early summer, I will set up new factories. And once I have all my garrison and winter equipment units in place, I can take factories, Arctic warfare equipment, I mean. I can take those factories and I can put them into infantry equipment. And I actually have another advice for your tip. You can ask your allies for basic equipment, and I asked Romania and Hungary because they haven't been fighting a lot in this campaign, so they had a surplus of uniforms and rifles, etc. So I asked them, and I don't think they've given me anything yet, but I have no current lend lease. Well, I don't know how this works because it's the first time I've done it. 7, 5, 68. Is that how much they delivered in total? I don't know what these numbers mean. But anyways, it looks like I am going to receive some. I mean, if I get 2,100 uniforms, that's great. If I only received 68 for the first month, maybe they gave it total. I don't know how much I'm gonna get. And Hungary is giving me some stuff as well. Yeah, put in the comments if you know how that works. You can see, see, I've given Hungary a couple of medium anti-tank guns, 250 of them. But it doesn't say anything about them delivering to me. Romania is not even on the list. I've given some stuff to Romania. You know, talk with me in the next update after the winter offensive in 1942. See if I can turn around this equipment deficit. If not, my army is just gonna get hollowed out, and I will lose the campaign. So that's all I'm gonna say on equipment. I am producing a hefty amount, 40 factories on fighters, and they're very advanced. So air-wise, I'm doing okay over Russia, but of course I can't fight UK. I have almost no air in North Africa, so we're fighting over 2,000 fighters, or Italy is. And Italy's air force is getting trounced because I am not supporting him. I'm a bad ally. Also, the Italian Navy is getting killed by a death stack of British units in the Mediterranean. I guess I'm jumping over to warfare here now. The British Navy, it has like 7 battleships and 5 carriers running around here, just killing everything. We're doing okay with supplies. We've been pushed out. I actually captured El Alamein, but once I reached El Alamein, the British just finished killing off Ethiopia, and I suppose they got all their forces there, and they just pushed me back. Italy withdrew all their forces, and I almost got encircled and killed. But Rommel is commanding, let's see here, 4 good elite divisions. They have better equipment, a bit of motorized and some assault guns, etc. So it's not only 4 units, they're a bit better than average. So I guess I can hold the line. I stopped them outside Benghazi, and I have built up the Tripoli port, so my supply situation is okay here, which seems good. And I am training a 5th infantry division, and in this mod there is, after I finish winter equipment production, there is a focus which is called Establish the Africa Corps, which gives me 1.5 armor divisions. Am I gonna have the equipment for those armor divisions in Africa? No, maybe the tanks, but not the trucks and infantry stuff. There is a bug. Sometime during summer 1941, the Operation Torch event seemed to have triggered. I saw some US ground territory captured in North Africa. That last time I played, it happens to me during summer of 1942, which is quite early, I think. But now the US, they're gone, and I'm not sure they're coming back. I don't know why Italy is keeping some troops in Tunisia. I guess he removed most of them. But now Vichy France is in my faction, so I suppose, could you, instead AI of putting everything in Tunisia, could you maybe put one division in Casablanca? No, no. I guess I need to put something there. See, what eats me alive is that Italy is always leaving ports open. I've had invasions in Tobruk and here in Sirte because I try to scramble together one or two small garrison regiments and put them in the port, and the UK Navy sinks my ships. Meanwhile, the AI is just, I'm just gonna sit here and starve. I'm not gonna cover the ports. So the reason I was pushed back out of Tobruk is naval invasions. You leave a port open for an hour, the UK is going to be there and invade and just overrun you. I'm sure, last time I played this campaign, I pushed the UK easily out of El Alamein. I don't know, he withdrew most of his troops, and I took Egypt and invaded the Middle East. Now I'm barely holding on for my life, and that was with the same forces, around 4 or 5 divisions as support. Maybe I had a little bit more air cover in North Africa. Anyways, Africa and also Ethiopia survived. That was probably the main difference. So, but I'm not gonna reload any saves or anything. It's just gonna play with the hand I'm dealt. But Africa is not going well, naval-wise, air-wise, even on land. I'm holding on land, and I guess I'm not gonna get an Operation Torch. I'm holding with small regiments. They're basically just placeholders. I have no garrison in 1941 in France. I have just a few Danish units in Norway and these regiments, 1 per port. So the Atlantic Wall doesn't exist. But I have Malta, I have Crete, I am holding on to Benghazi. That's the west. And in the center, the Russians, they almost reached the railway line here around here, but I performed a counter-offensive and I fell back to my supply lines here. I really don't plan on doing any more fighting during the winter if I can avoid it. And I'm holding on to Stalingrad as well, so that's how far I got. I just encircled a pocket around Krasnodar and killed a lot of troops, and I grabbed Maikop. I wonder if I get, and how much oil do I get from Maikop? I don't know. Nothing? I guess. No oil. Wait, where do you see the resources? Is it in the construction menu? Right, 3 oil. That's all I get from this province. All right. Right now I have a little bit of armor around the rail line here, down here. Did I grab Armavir? Is the last supply depot I captured. So you can see I am building up my railroad from Berlin down to Rostov here. So for the 1942 campaign, I'm hoping to capture Saratov and clear out the rest of Caucasus, grabbing Baku. It's probably gonna give me a little bit more oil. So I think I'm set for oil for the rest of the campaign now. But since I haven't been able to perform any blitzkrieg and keep a lot of blitzkrieg and killing a lot of Soviet units, maybe I should have fallen back and recaptured the territory and made more encirclements from better supply positions. But here I am for the winter now. Winter just struck. I don't have enough winter equipment, and I still am about to. I haven't captured Moscow yet, but Moscow, of course, it's been going on for a long time, and he sends in reinforcements. But we have bad militia garrison divisions here. They're not great, and I'm about to capture a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th province to attack Moscow from. And I have more of these city fighting, high experience, elite, large divisions coming with more submachine guns equipped. So I hope I can grab Moscow, and then my summer offensive is over. And then we're gonna see how bad the Russian winter offensive is gonna be. Usually it gets very, very bad. I'm kind of surprised we don't see more attacks. So what's else to discuss? Food factories, command power. Same here. Maybe people don't use command power. I find that I have a lot of traits I could assign, but I don't have enough command power and 15 temporary to put on more ground crews, 10% better air fighting. So I'm constantly, I've been managing my command power since day one of the campaign, never wasting it, never leave it at max and just let it sit there. Always invest 15 command power into a leader trait before it reaches max. And if you do that, you will be able to, and I also use some for Last Stand and extra supply in North Africa, etc. and whatnot. Well, maybe you want to see, I'm not very good and I don't quite see how that it's that important how you specifically build your division templates. And even though this about 90% of all Hearts of Iron videos on YouTube, they're about, oh, this is the best division template, and then the YouTuber goes on to show you how the division template looks, but he never explains why it's so much better than everyone else. And usually people talking about, oh, it needs to be this combat width, but I think now combat width is if you exceed it or you just lose a little bit. You don't lose an entire division's worth of fighting if you're one combat width over. You just lose a small percentage. So does it really matter? What I choose to go for are 4 pack artillery, mountain artillery. This means I don't have to research medium, heavy, and light. So it's easier. And another reason, here's another tip. Look at compare the, what's it called again? Durability. That's not it. It's called reliability. Yeah. These guns are maybe not the best, but you quite early get the 1938 version 2 of them, and they have a lot better reliability than the other artillery. So I just found that nifty. I have medium AT, I have anti-air. I don't have any motorized, no fuel. There shouldn't be any fuel capacity or fuel usage in this unit. I don't understand where it comes from. I need to find out. Because there's no motorized. Oh, it's the headquarters, right? The headquarters have... No? They don't have any cars. Oh, it's a maintenance detachment. They have transport trucks. But I mean, that 14% reliability bonus, you know, I just feel I have to take that. So that's my main division. I mean, some still are running light anti-tank here. So am I doing something crazy? Is 25 a bad combat width? Is 100 soft attack with a 56 breakthrough? Is that super bad? 100? It's just... It is a hard mod. You can't do everything you want in... I know people are going to go like, oh, it's super easy for me because I'm such a good player. But how the hell do you build a better army? Unless you save scum or exploit or something. I think maybe I should have more smaller divisions, panzer divisions that I can exploit and snake and do better encirclements with that has a lower supply profile than these historical... panzer divisions. I think that could help you make better progress early in the campaign. Once you make a hole in the line, these are a bit too slow and too expensive with supply. They really don't exploit that well. They fight well enough. They can break through most lines, but maybe playing non-historical panzer divisions is the way to go in this campaign. Yeah, I'll show you. You get a free panzer division. It looks like this now with 6 medium tank battalions and 6 motorized infantry and nice headquarters. I plan on putting in a Arctic support company in here. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. Probably should. And I have these have nice medium Panzer III tanks. They have nice stats. They're you get it for free and you can reassign it a little bit. So these are like a really good division in my mind. It has 31 combat width. Does that matter? I don't know. Oh, why does it have light anti-tank here? Should probably put in more mountain artillery, because I already have piercing and hard attack here, right? So yeah, that's not a good thing. But I am so low on mountain artillery that I can't do it right now. Have to remember that. These are the kinds of divisions you would like to have on the Eastern Front with 240 medium tanks. And I think I've managed to get 3 of one. So I have like 3 of them on the map. One is in the line fighting, and 2 of them are training. So if you're playing Black Ice, maybe you have a reference number. I am fielding over 1,000 medium tanks. Are they the best? No, but the Panzer 3J, 750 of them. It's a good tank. It's fast and it has decent values. I think it has a lot of. So 1,000 German medium tanks in the field at this stage of the war. I feel that's a decent achievement. I have, as you can see, I have a lot of French tanks in my light tank forces. Why? Yeah, I wonder, you know, I don't have a lot of German light tanks, Panzer IIs left. They probably died. I don't have a lot of cavalry tanks in the field right now. I am training Czech cavalry tank divisions. And my one little luxury is that I build Stugs, so that I make them slow with a lot of armor, and I put them into elite infantry divisions to gain some armor of those infantry divisions. So I guess I'm feeling almost 300 Stug 3s. And also this game, this mod, has something called a CS, which is crew support. It's not combat support tanks, like short-barreled Panzer IVs. 500 of those suckers. So that, what does that make? I should have around 3,000 tanks in total or something like that. As you can see from my production numbers, I do have 1 stack of Panzer Js, 3Js, 20 working at full capacity. So I'm not gonna run out of tanks anytime soon. And obviously there's going to be more expensive tanks. I think the Tiger 2, the Tiger 1 comes in 1942, something like that. So my tank forces are doing okay with, but, oh yeah, here's something I wanted to discuss with you. In this match, in this game, I have a severe surplus of engine production capacity. Yes, I built a couple of engine factories. And it turns out I don't need them. I don't have the military factories to invest in more airplane production and more tank production. I could do it, and I will from now on, but as you can see, my deficit is not in Air Force. Well, you always want more, right? But I do get green air in the provinces I fight on over in Russia. So air is okay, and tanks are doing quite okay. That's not where I have my deficit. It is military factories on just basic infantry stuff. That is what I'm lacking the most now, including garrisons. Trucks, I need more trucks. I need everything. Okay, that's a long rambling. What else is there to discuss? What have I missed? I guess research. I mean, you have so many research slots that... Have I done anything? The only thing I'm ahead at is fighters. I am doing the 1943 fighter because you dedicate 1 slot of air research only to intercept fighters, and you do nothing else with it. And so that's why I'm ahead, and that really helps in air combat. I noticed that I usually at least 1 to 2 combat losses. In Russia, probably a lot more. I'll show you the fight over Moscow to see, give you an impression. This is probably better than average, but if you look at the details here over Moscow, you can see that while I lost 72 fighters, I managed to shoot down around 500 enemy aircraft. that is, I can't show you. Oh, I can show you months. Well, those numbers are about the same. But anyways, in Russia, and still they have 1,500 airplanes left. So here's my main focus, of course, to get green air over over the Moscow area. But with 1,500 Russian planes, I don't feel like I want to throw in my Stukas, my combat air support, and also there's really not enough airports, air bases within range for me to do that. So not only I've been fighting under green air, but I haven't been able to bomb the Russians, which made the combat area even worse. My headquarters officer corps is filled up. I've done it. Nothing particularly. Oh, the naval war. I did a little bit different here. This time I built a early in the game. You have nice cruisers, so I built a tier 3 heavy cruiser and a couple, and I transformed the artillery on. So I built a couple of light cruisers here, and they've been raiding long away from home and quite successful actually. So my submarine force is weaker than it usually is, but for some reason, as you can see here from the sinkings in the Atlantic, I don't know why there's not going more convoys over the Atlantic yet. Maybe with the US in war later. And I've been using a little bit more submarines in the Mediterranean, and as you can see, there's been a lot of losses. I don't have a huge U-boat force. We can check the how large is my. I have only 80 submarines, and and I made a mistake somehow when it comes to my battleships. For some reason, they're not going to be finished until 1943. I don't know. I think I put the maximum factories from pre-war. Maybe they've been running with a deficit of alloying metals for a little bit, but you know, usually they should have been finished for a long time ago. I don't know why my 2 battleships are so late. I was planning on trying to use these as raiders as well, along with these cruisers. Turns out, no, they're sitting. Oh, I guess here said von der Tam. What's this? Oh, I built 1 battle cruiser, and it's gonna be finished. It's basically a Scharnhorst class with battle cruiser stats, so it's a bit faster. As you can see, the speed is on this sucker. Oh, it's almost 34 knots. But it doesn't matter because the UK AI doesn't hunt my surface raiders out there. So you can basically send out anything. Because I only see small destroyers, etc. in the Atlantic. I think this, look at, if you just check one of these ships. How do you, wait. Here it is. And you check the history. You can see how many destroyers and escort ships they've been sinking. The submarines don't sink as many of these, do they? So actually, I think I'm, you know, not only am I sinking what I feel are most of the few convoys in the Atlantic, I was also been sinking a lot of small surface destroyer escort ships as well. So I guess I'm pretty happy with the choice to build a small cruiser raider surface force. So that's naval-wise. Would I be strong enough to threaten? I don't know what, you know, I have my Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. Oh! I guess maybe I built 2 of Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, because I already have these suckers. What speed? They have 31 knots. I think I made them a little bit faster. So maybe I should send out these to gain some experience as surface raiders. Anyways, you know, I rambled on along. I'm having a fun playing Black Ice, but it's also frustrating because you feel a shortage everywhere. And since I like to play without save scumming. If something bad happens, I have to live with the decision. It's really hard to play a perfect game. I do have a decent amount of compliance. wait, let's see, is it F8? As you can see here, France is above 40%, which is very nice. That is probably a reason why I'm over 1,000 factories already. And Poland has 50-60%. And even with this great, nice compliance in Poland and France, I was almost overwhelmed by the lack of garrison maintenance equipment. It almost, spiraled out of control, and made me not being able to produce anything else. You can lose the game by not having enough garrison equipment in Black Ice. So I'm at civilian oversight, which is the cheapest way of. I think I'm of civilian oversight everywhere. Maybe I should extract more resources in some areas of the map, but I don't have the garrisons to do it. So I'm just gonna live as cheap. And as you can see, I'm throwing all my bad tanks at garrison duty because I'm still on a deficit. Okay, I'm repeating myself here, I know this. So I suspect Japan will enter the war, and at least short term, that maybe the UK Navy could leave the Mediterranean for once. I do have 4 nice elite marine divisions sitting in south of Greece, eyeing Tobruk and Derna port here. So maybe I could turn the situation around in North Africa. That would be, but crossing here is very, very risky because of that here, the Death Star. Maybe I should do it now when I know where the British Navy is. Yeah, maybe. I would have to make sure I can reach it. I think I probably will invade now. So, hopefully you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments your thoughts about Black Ice and playing in Germany. Did you get any useful information, or do you think I'm crazy with my tips? I feel that I did a fairly good game, but it's not a perfect game, and I still have issues and challenges. But getting to Stalingrad and Leningrad and probably Moscow is not a bad run in Black Ice, if you ask me, while holding on to Libya. So maybe I'll make another update if I play for half a year or a year and do good progress, and you can follow this as a series. But I don't promise. Could be a one-off where you only get a little eye glimpse of 30th of October 1941 in Black Ice. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.